Okay, so here's part 2 of this sketch that I did the other day. I did want to mention that I didn't do it on drawing paper, which I should have. I just did it on the back of a piece of cheap watercolor paper, so it does have a little bit more grain than I would like, and you can see it's not as white as this paper, but it's just an example. I can too see that there's one eye bigger than the other, but etc. So here's this is the tortillon that I mentioned last time. It's a little bit it's rather large, so they come in different sizes. Here's the other one. Oh no, I thought I had my little one here. At any rate, I wanted to show you the way to sharpen these is just to take like I said, a piece of sandpaper, although like I said, they do sell them, and you just kind of move it around like this to sharpen it and get rid of all the bad stuff, and also to make it pointy in case you've worn it down. So I'm just sharpening it in the same, with the same angle that it has. Okay? So that's that. I am still going to be working with my 2B pencil. I am in the studio this time, not in the kitchen, so I don't have my other kneaded eraser. I have this little bit right here, and I'm going to go ahead and begin with the hair. If you're watching and you're with Hermanas Sagradas, I appreciate those of you who have posted your art there. It really is awesome to see people working with my directions and seeing that that I encourage and motivate you. That's just really humbling, but at the same time, it's just really sweet. I love it. So please do share. Now I'm going to start by, as you remember that I said last time, making my very short tip, wearing it down to a lipstick tip, and then I'm going to go ahead and begin in the hair. So the hair, what I had done last time was just to sort of, you know, get the shape. So I will redo the shape a little bit, see how I want her, how she wants to look. And let me get the camera a little closer. I was just painting, so my fingers have paint on them. And looking for this lipstick tip, that's what I'll begin with. Now I'm only adding a little bit of pressure to the pencil. I want her to have a middle part, so I'm not going to leave it really white, but at the same time I do want to mark that, because from here is where I'll begin to bring the hair down. So this will be rather quickly. I can figure out where I want my highlight to be, so this area right here will be my highlight. I think I'm going to squash her hair a bit. It's a bit poofy there. And so this part, you know, just putting in sort of like your medium tones right there. Shaping her up. Oh, sorry, but I can't work straight on. I think I shared with you that my drawing teacher would always get onto me with that, or get on me, or whatever, scold me for that. So here we go. So what you want to do with hair is you want to have it sort of in chunks, because when you look at somebody's hair, you don't see every single strand, and you don't see like a, you know, like a one color helmet thing. So we see light reflected off the hair, and so that's the main thing that you want to be doing here. So now I'll begin And I'm turning my pencil a little bit more now because I do want to have some of the sharper edge. So I'm just creating a little bit of hair strands, you see, and it's not so all together like it was in the beginning. Then I'm going to go just with this shadow that I had created here already and unite it with this one. Then here again, turning my pencil, so you are working with your pencil a little bit more with the sharper edges here. I will probably sharpen my pencil in a little bit as I work. And then I'm going to begin to create these chunks. So this will be like one chunk, and here's another one, and maybe there's another one to give it flow. Also, you want to have some loose hairs, because if you look at anybody's head, no matter whether they have very curly or very straight hair, very dark or very light, we always see these sort of flyaways. So there again, working with it a little bit with the sharp edges of the pencil. Right as it comes to the face, to the neck, it will be a little bit darker. Towards the bottom too, a little bit darker as it hits the clothing or the body. Turning my pencil again to find a sharper edge to create more of these strands of hair. You see, I'm not really watching carefully what I'm doing. One of the things that you could do, I think I mentioned this last time too, and especially if you're left-handed, is to put a piece of paper under your hand, because you can see there I'm beginning to drag a little bit. So now you can see, you know, these shadows that have been created here. I'm going to take my kneaded eraser, create a little bit of areas of light. So I'm squishing it like that, making it longer. I know my fingernails look horrible, but going for manicures is like useless when I'm painting. I have charcoal under my fingernails, paint everywhere. All right, so see the highlights as they were added? Now I'll go in and bring out some of my darks a little bit, add more lines. I think I'm just going to work on half of the head because it does take quite a long time, and the main thing is I just want you to see how it's done. I'm going to stand my pencil up a little bit to get some sharper lines there. See if you can see it on the camera. I think you can. Now as I come to the part, to the hairline here, I'll go a little darker. Or you can make it lighter, but usually it'll be lighter right here, you know, right next to the part. I'm going to sharpen my pencil. Actually, maybe I'll do it on the sandpaper, because all I want is just the very tip of it a little sharper. Yeah, that was good. So just to show a little bit more line. that it's insinuating the strands of hair. You see? And as I come down here also, I don't know if you can hear all the noise in the background, but it is Memorial Day weekend, and we are right on the path of Rolling Thunder, which is very cool. Those guys are awesome. I used to go out and take photos of them and their motorcycles, and they have them all nice and shiny, and they were always so wonderful, friendly, and ready and eager to tell all their stories. And I remember I was doing an anti-war research paper, and they were just so incredibly nice to tell me their war stories and just share so openly. It's so great that they were able to find community, because, you know, we all need that. So, that being said, you know, I am doing this open on YouTube, but it is specific to my hermanas sagradas, to my sacred sisters, for Sophia and our group. If you're not familiar with it, check us out on Facebook and on Hermana Sagrada, that's Sacred Sisters in Spanish, hermanasagradas.com, and join us for fellowship, sisterhood, and sharing our creativity. We have some wonderful people on there, professional artists, people that are just starting, people that just want to dabble and have fun creating, but most of all, it's just a community of love, support, and sharing for women. Okay, so I think here it got a little bit too molded. It looks like a feather, so I'm going to take some of that out. I think it's just because I had that middle thing here, but I don't want it to look so feathery. Okay, so I think you get the idea from here, right? So now where does the blending stick come in for this part? Just kind of to soften some of these. Now remember what I said from last time is when you use your blending stick, you always should go back in there with your pencil and sometimes with your kneaded eraser as well, because this, when you blend, it gets rid of some, the darks and the lights and the illusion that's created by pencil. In order for it to look three-dimensional, you really need to have those extremes of light and dark as well. So you do this to blend a little bit. I'm going to go into the face a little bit, and then you go in and pull the lights and the darks back out. So you see there, I'm using it really as a drawing implement, because it has all that pencil already on there. And where it gets too dark, I can erase. This, where it's really dark, should be really dark under the chin. I'm going to push in there a little bit harder. So I'm putting more pressure onto the stick. Lots of pressure here to drag it down, and also to get the dark off the stick. Whereas when I'm working up here, I'll do it much lighter. There, I'll push hard for that too. This is very much how I work, by going all over and not staying in one place. I think it really helps with your composition too, to do this. I think one side of her face is, this eye is bigger and this nostril is bigger, so see what I can do about that. But all with this tortillon, because it has so much lead on it now. Okay, a little bit back to the hair. I think I'm going to erase. That one was a little bit too big. So I'm doing this because if I go over it with my hands, I will, you know, smudge it. I can take a brush and do this. Also with a brush, you can do a little bit of moving around. Not as much, but it does work a little bit to move around your hair. Oh, it actually works really nice in the hair. So I'll go back with the kneaded eraser. Add some more light. This is really best if you're working with a photograph. I tend to work from my imagination, whereas my partner works purely from what he sees, so he has to work from photographs, and you know, the advantage of that is your work turns out to be much more realistic, you know, specifically when it comes to lights and everything. So I do, well, working from life is best, so I prefer to work from life or just to work from my mind, but I've seen him do just really spectacular pieces working from photographs. So I used to be adamantly against working from photos, but I've learned from him, you know, and watching him, what awesome stuff he could do. And again, if I were looking at a photograph, I'm adding the darks in here too. By the way, I'm going to sharpen my pencil a little bit. So yeah, adding the lights here would work really nicely if I had something to look at to know where the lights would go. But I'm just too used to working from my imagination, and I'm not a realist. So if my lights are not where they should be, I'm okay with that. But I do want you to know that, you know, when I teach, I do want people to know the proper ways to do it, or the traditional ways to do it, and then you can choose or try both. And you know, specifically, especially when you are practicing and learning, I would advise you to have a reference. We're all still learning though, right? I know I'm still learning so much. So I'm going to go in here. Much darker here under the eyeball. I mean, under the eyelid is what I meant. Maybe I can try to make this eye a little bit larger here. you know, you get to the point in a piece where you know that they're not even, but fixing it will just entail so much that your whole piece will change. So, and we have different size eyes anyway in real life, so I'm just gonna go with that. Push a little bit here, a little bit more shadows here and here. And then this, the nose here bothers me. So I think I'll make that one a little bit larger. Little shadow right there. And extending the shadow over her eye a bit. Softening that line. And let me see. I'm not sure how long the video is, but I'm going to go ahead and quickly. Whoa, her neck is really off. So remember last time we did this thing? So you see the neck there and the neck there. So I'm going to add some more light to her chin. I need to clean up my stick. So evening out her skin tone a little bit. And like I said before, it takes hours and hours to, you know, get a paint drawing to the point that you're happy with it. So charcoal is so much quicker. So I've got to lay in some of the shadows. You know, I think I'm starting to rush it, so just because I don't want the video to be so long. So I think I'm just gonna finish it here. I'm gonna end it here, and I'll keep working offline, because I don't know, and if anybody knows how, please let me know, but I don't know how I can do a fast forward on YouTube, and to do it on an with editing software, it just takes too long. I'm just working on too many video lessons right now. So in order to keep these coming, if I can edit them on YouTube and that's it, that works out much better for me. So if you know a quick way of doing it, because last time that I tried to edit with YouTube, I was upside down for the first 2 minutes of the video. Anyway, so I'll keep going with her, and I'm using everything like you just saw me do. And I look forward to hearing from you and see if this is helpful. And I also look forward to seeing your drawings. Alrighty. Thank you for watching. Namaste. Keep working. Keep creating. Sharing. And just keep on loving. Alright, see you later.